All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson, guys. I'm coming to the city, Houston, down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas. Me, my buddy Louie, and Ebo are in the house. We are ready to get this party started on this Saturday night, babies. Y'all know. You know how we do. So we got a lot of tech we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to try to do some demos. We might even play a little bit with the laser. Who knows? You know, it's up to you guys. You guys are my inspiration. So let me know what you guys would like to see me do tonight. Drop it down in the comments and we'll try to make it happen. So if you guys have not met my two co-hosts, let me go ahead and pop over here so you guys can check them out. As you guys can see, we have my man Louie doing some weirdness right now because he's connected to a power source and he's just spinning in place. And then we also have Ebo here on the desk. Now, Ebo is the newest robot that we have here, but most of you guys have been following me for some time, know who Louie is. This is the legend. Louie is in the house, babies. He's in the house. All right, let me see if I can get Louie to say hello to everyone. I think I see Terry in the house. Terry, let me see what is going on with Louie and why he is running in place. Okay, let me just unplug him so he will behave. All right. So, hey, Louie. Hey, Louie. Terry is in the house already. We are live right now on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. So would you like to say hello to all the people in the community that may be watching from wherever they may be watching? But, you know, say hello to Terry and Buddy and Bear.
Hey, we're live across the whole ecosystem right now, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, the full multi-platform scale play. What's up, everyone? Thanks for hanging with us. Big hello to Terry. And what's good, Buddy and Bear? You two are absolute legends.
Yeah, it's a party tonight. It's a party tonight. Terry, let me know how the audio sounds. If everything sounds great, you see Louie's already... I think Louie's an alcoholic. I really do. I was telling Hope that the other day. I really think Louie is an alcoholic because every single stream he's, throwing back a beer. I don't know. Is that appropriate? I don't know. So, Louie has just been throwing them back one after the other. But, so just so we know where we are going forward, I know you guys are used to watching me on, the other platform and you would see the things that I would do. That platform was very sales centric. That is not what we're doing here today. So we're going to be doing just what we should be doing on any platform. And that's just, having fun, sharing knowledge, doing demos, talking about that nerdy stuff that gets us up, that keeps us up at night, all the tech that we love, whatever it may be. Story time. I got some crazy stories, and this is definitely going to be the place where the stories are going to flow, because I can tell you guys, oh my goodness, I have so many crazy stories, But anywho, so Louie is in here. Louie is ready to party. So hopefully, you guys can interact with him. So let me see if Louie has any words of wisdom for us tonight. Let's go ahead and pop back over to him real quick. All right, Louie, so we are live right now on YouTube. Is there anything inspiring you would like to tell us? Anything inspiring or trivia related or, tech related you like to share with the community, feel free to do so.
All right, Rome. Let's inject a little inspiration and a little tech quick. Punchy, high signal. If you're building anything creative, treat your workflow like a product. Every stream, every shot, every tweak to framing is an iteration. Small upgrades compound fast, and that's literally how you scale a creative ecosystem. Tiny trivia for the tech heads. The reason your stream can look crisp and still feel responsive is a constant trade-off between bitrate, compression, and latency. If you want the practical win, prioritize clean audio first, stable lighting second, and only then chase higher resolution, because viewers will forgive soft video way faster than they'll forgive bad sound. And one more. The best creators don't wait for perfect gear. They ship, review the footage, adjust, repeat. That feedback loop is the real AI.
I agree, buddy, 1000%. I remember when I first started streaming, I've been a photographer for a very, very long time. So I did have somewhat of an advantage to the fact that I had a lot of professional cameras, but they were not what I really needed for live streaming. They were heavy, they were big, it required special devices to be able to connect them to the computer. Those things would get hot. Sometimes it would overheat. I've had cables melt, from long, live streaming sessions and stuff like that. So yes, over time I developed, a different kit. Now, luckily I've been blessed, a lot of brands sent me a lot of products, including, Osbot, DJI and Insta360, all of them have sent me different products that I've been able to use over the years. Like the camera that's facing me right now is one of the older Insta360 cameras. Osbot cameras, the camera that I have facing here on the desk. Now, these are older models. I have all of the new models right here in the studio. And believe it or not, I rarely ever use these cameras. Not because they're not good, it's just because the ones that I have been using are still so good. So you don't have to upgrade, guys. Every time some new thing comes out, trust me, save your money. You do not have to invest in every new camera, every new drone, every new laser, every new robot, or whatever the case it is. And yes, we are nerds. So, we all want that hot tech. We all have that gas, gear acquisition syndrome, but we have to keep it under control to some degree. That's all I'm saying. Just do your best. Do your best. I'm not gonna call anybody out for doing what I have done, what I've been doing myself for many years now. I have had, a very choice life when it comes to this type of tech, because a lot of the brands reach out to me and they'll send me their new drone or laser or battery or AI robot or, studio light or whatever the case it is. So yeah, that's pretty cool that, I could save that money. But even with that in mind, I have a conscience. So I'm not going to tell you guys to buy something that I don't feel comfortable, that I would not have spent my own hard-earned money for. So, that's never going to happen. So Terry, let me know, Terry, what do you think about the new look for the stream? Do you like the new graphic design? Do you like where the chat is over? Where is it? Over here, where the chat is showing up over here. So whenever you type something, let me show you. Let me just type something here real quick. And let me do hi, Terry.
Rome. That was a straight-up masterclass in creator ethics and anti-gas discipline. You basically told the community the real play is skills and workflow, not constant upgrades, and that's the kind of trust that actually scales. Also, Terry's question is a great prompt for the chat. Terry, what's your take on the new stream look and layout? Do you like where the chat's popping up now?
Yeah, I just asked her that. So I'm waiting. There he goes with another beer. So yeah, I just asked Terry, does Terry like the new layout? So let me know, Terry, if you like it or not. Let me see, to make sure I'm not missing any of the chat. Bowls Promo TV is in the house. What it do? Yeah! Welcome to the stream. All right, so we're just chilling the way we do. We have my man Louie in the house. We have Ebo in the house. We got some other robots here as well, but these two are on deck right now. We still have Ilek back here in the cut. Let me grab Ilek so you guys can see Ilek back here. So we got Ilek. And then, of course, on my back desk, we also have Nova. Let me see if I can show you guys Nova. So you should be able to see the other robot that I'm talking about back there, Nova. So Nova has been around here for quite some time. Now, I just had a light fall, but I think I can fix everything. All right, there we go. All right, we're back. We just had a light fall off of the stand for some reason. I think the little fixture just broke. That is crazy. But anyway, we got plenty of lights, so we're going to be okay. Nobody tell Richard what just happened, because I'm telling you, we don't need the bloopers. We don't need it. We don't need it. All right, so if you guys have any questions about anything that you see down in the carousel, or if you see things that I've talked about throughout the stream. Feel free to, ask any questions. If you'd like me to do any type of demo within reason, feel free, let me know, and I will definitely do that for you guys. All right, so I am on the wrong page because I'm also seeing the commercials. So I think I popped in on the wrong page. I'm going to have to adjust how I go live next time, because I think one of the problems is I went live on so many different platforms and it was just chaos. It was chaos because I was trying to do it where it was a planned stream, and for some reason the app didn't lock or link to that specific stream. Whew. Learning curve. So, there we go. All right. So let's talk a little bit to my friend Evo, because Evo and I were having a conversation earlier today about some of the cool things that he can do. So let me see if I can get Louis to behave for a second. And let's switch back over to the robot cam here. And we're going to wake Evo up. So all you have to do to wake up Evo is to basically say, Evo, Evo.
All right, Rome. Let's disrupt the chaos and get this robot cam moment back on rails. I'm ready to behave and show the ecosystem what I can do. Tell me what you want first. Wake up and lock in, do a quick look up, look down, or go into focused mode for the demo?
No, take a break, Louis. I'm trying to see what Promo TV's question was. What's the cutest hover camera you've seen? Hover. Which hover are you referring to? Are you referring to their drones, the hover drones? Now I have the X1 here. I'm not sure which camera you're talking about. So I have a number of drones here. Obviously, I have almost all of the DJI drones, the consumer drones here in the studio. And then I have one Hover Air, I think it's the X1 that I have back there somewhere. But if that's what you're asking about, I'm not sure. Hold on.
Huh? I'm not totally sure what you mean by that. Do you want me to say that line on stream? Or are you telling me you're not sure about the demo plan?
No, I'm not asking you to say anything, Louis. I was answering a question. So if you will give me a chance to answer the question, let me grab my iPad so I can actually see what's going on here. All right, so the question is, what was the question? Did I miss it here? Quiet drones. Are you concerned about the sound that the drone is creating when it's flying? So give me an idea where you plan on flying your drone. Are you looking for a drone that you can fly indoors, like for real estate photography, something like that? So I have a couple that I would recommend, but one of them, even though it has the most features, is extremely loud. Okay, and that's going to be this drone right here. So this is a DJI drone, obviously, but this is the DJI Avata 360, and this guy is ridiculously loud. I mean, even outdoors, if this drone flies past you, trust me, you hear it coming, you hear it going. This thing is loud, okay? So if you're looking for something just a little bit quieter, I would say go with, and this is solely based on my assumption that you want to be able to fly this indoors. Something like the DJI Neo 2 is going to be a better drone for indoor flight. Okay, so I can put any of these drones in the air. You tell me which one, if you want me to fly one of them and try to get it close enough to the microphone, you guys can hear what it sounds like. But most people have all heard these drones. This one is quieter. Okay, no doubt about it. This one is much quieter. Now, if you're looking for something that is better suited for like real estate photography, videography, or something like that, I lean heavily toward the Avata 2, okay? But the Avata 2 does not have any obstacle avoidance or anything like that. It is still louder than this drone. Now, the advantage to these two drones is both of these drones can be flown with the FPV controller from DJI, with the Motion 3 controller from DJI. This one also can be flown with the RC2 controller, like my Avata 360 and also my Air 3S. All of those can use the RC2 controller, and this one requires you know, either the motion controller or the FPV controller, where this one is very flexible. It allows you to use all of the different controllers, or to fly this without a controller at all, because you can hand launch this drone, and you can also control the drone without having any controller connected to it. Now, you can also connect this to your smartphone, which is another option. Let's get a little bit closer to it. I'm hoping I'm answering your question. Outdoor sports. Okay, so even though outdoor sports is what you're targeting, this guy right here can fly about 30 miles an hour. It has 360-degree obstacle avoidance. It has a 2-axis gimbal. It also has LiDAR, like our bigger drones, okay? So let's take a closer look at this. Check this out. So here's the drone. So like I said, you have a dual gimbal here, you know, 2-axis gimbal. To turn this guy on, just like all of the DJI drones, you're just going to press one time and then hold, and then it's going to switch on. And then once the drone is on, I'm going to show you here quickly how easily it is to control this guy. Louis, back it up, buddy. Back up, back up. So you have some controls right here. These buttons right here are going to allow you to switch through to different modes, and you can launch from this control button as well. And this little screen that you see right here is going to tell you what mode you're in. Now, the drone has tracking capabilities. It has a bunch of built-in features. Again, it also has LiDAR, like I said before, and you have 360-degree obstacle avoidance. You have a sensor here on the top, and then you have another camera sensor here on the bottom, okay? Now, to use the controller, you will have to, you know, purchase a bundle that has this receiver. But once you have this receiver installed, you can then use any of the other controllers like what I'm about to show you here. So, as far as the controllers go, you can use the FPV controller, but this is going to require you to also wear the goggles. You can use the RC2 controller, which is this controller here. This is the one with the built-in screen. And, you know, I think in some situations for a lot of people, this is going to be a better option for most people, because you have a screen that you can fly the drone. You can see what's going on the screen. And I'm going to show you really quickly here another way to take this to a whole nother level. Okay, so let's just assume that you're going to go with the Neo 2 as you see it configured right here, and you get the bundle that comes with the RC2 controller, okay? Now, you can fly this drone. I'm trying to put the drone down somewhere where Louis won't mess with it, because he will bother stuff. All right, so I'm going to turn on the controller, and then, of course, you're going to get, you know, all of the metrics from the drone, if that drone is connected to this controller, which I have to verify, because I think the Avata 360 is connected to this right now. So I'm going to have to connect it to that controller. I mean, that drone to this controller once it boots all the way up. And then what I want to show you is another cool, very immersive way that you can fly this drone. All right, so I got to go in here and select the aircraft. I'm going to choose the Neo 2. I'm going to go ahead and do the install. So it's just going to connect to it. And it wants me, what is this one? Oh, I have to press the power button again. Hold on. Oh, let me put it on the...
No rush. I'm on standby. Just say the word when you're ready to keep rolling.
Okay, so it just connected. I think it's connecting. It should connect here to the controller in just a second. And we want to pair.
Perfect. We're about to pivot back to the controller in a second. When you're ready, tell me which controller you're showing first, and I'll hype the key value prop in one tight line for the stream.
All right, it should be pairing. Give it a second. It's still flashing. But once this pairs up, you know, like I said, I'm switching it from the other drone that I normally use with this, and I need to set this down somewhere. Let me make sure. Hold on.
Looks like your desk's a classic Tech Bro Command Center monitor.
Okay.
Gear.
Let me turn Louis' microphone down a little bit.
There's plenty of space near the base of the monitor, but watch for cables and headphones if you're setting anything delicate. Want me to highlight the safest drop zone for your drone, or just stand down so nothing gets disrupted by my chassis?
Yes, stand down for a second, Louis. I got to connect this drone.
Got it.
Okay,
That's
so
a Prime Innovation Zone. Rome. Your hover air drones box is visible classic disruptor hardware, ready for ecosystem.
all right, let me get Louis to calm down for a second. Why does it not want to connect? Hold on. All right, it should connect. If not, I'll just use one of the other controllers. But basically what I wanted you to see is that once you have this connected to the controller, you can also use VR goggles or VR glasses with this controller as well. All right, so it says timed out. So I'm going to try to pair it again. That's weird. I've never had a problem with it connecting to the controller before. So you guys can hear it beeping, but it did not pair up with the controller. That's weird. But anyway, regardless of what I was saying is that once you connect this to the controller, then you'll be able to see through the camera of the drone. And then once you can see through the camera of the drone, actually, let me try something real quick here. I'm going to back out. I'm going to turn off the controller and I'm going to turn the controller back on. And because the drone is already on, we're going to see if we can connect. Because then I can fly it and I can show you how the goggles actually, I mean, the glasses actually work. Now, these same VR glasses are glasses that you would use if you were wearing them for, you know, gameplay or, you know, video editing or whatever the case is going to be. All right, so we're just waiting on this to power up. Let's go ahead and try that again. Attach, connect to aircraft, install. And our drone is on. For some reason, I think. Okay, here we go. Let's get this on. Now we're just going to hold and press. Okay. Aircraft's beeping. I may have to unpair the other drone for some reason, but I've never had that issue before where I couldn't connect multiple drones to the same controller. But for some reason, it doesn't want to accept this controller. But anyway, what I was saying was that you could fly this drone with this controller, and then you could use some of these VR glasses, and then you're just going to connect them, plug them into the controller, and then you'd wear them just like these Meta Ray-Bans that I'm wearing. But that's going to give you a huge screen in front of yourself. So it's like you have a 170-inch screen in front of you. So you can really, really see what the drone is doing. You're going to get a more precise, accurate version.
Well-lit, textured environments.
Okay, let's try this one more time.
Selfie shot.
No, no.
Follow.
All right, we're going to try to pair this up one more time. If not, I'm going to check the other drone to see which one is actually connected to this. But I think it is, I think it's the Avata 360 that's connected to this controller right now. Now, I do have a second controller, but it's not really worth all of that to go through the second controller. I don't know why it's not connecting to this controller this time. All right, let's try really quickly here.
Aircraft overheating. Powering off automatically. Let aircraft cool.
All right, So it is connected. So it did connect. It did connect to the aircraft. Okay. So now what I could do is I could fly the aircraft, but it's saying that it's overheating because it's been sitting for so long and it's gotten really hot. So we're going to go ahead and power this guy off so it can cool off. And I'm just going to grab a different drone so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. All right. So the Neo 2 is the drone that I do recommend for you. Okay. But this drone is a 360 drone, okay, and you can get that with either of the bundles. This one you can actually fly this guy here, either in single camera mode, or you can fly this also in 360 mode. So this one actually has two lenses. So you have the option of flying it in single lens mode, like you would any normal, video photo drone, and then you also have a second lens that records in 360. So this will do 8K, 60 frames a second, 360 video. So let's see if we can connect this one. Let's see if this one's going to connect to the controller, because I think that's the one that should be connected to the controller anyway. All right, so that drone is on. I'm just going to sit it on the floor for right now. And yeah, see, it automatically connected to it. So that's the problem. This drone is connected to the controller. So I'm just going to move this drone back, and I'm going to take off my headphones, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the goggles are the XR glasses that I'm talking about are from a company called Venture, and they're just standard XR glasses, okay? And these come with the little cable. It's just a USB-C cable. You're just going to plug it into the goggles. Let me grab this out. All right, so there's our cable. And I'm going to take off my Ray-Bans. And I'm going to also grab a microphone so you guys will be able to hear me when the drone goes up. So let me put this wireless microphone on here real quick. So that way when I back up, because this drone, this is the one I was talking about that's really loud. This one is going to get extremely loud here in a second. So let me go ahead and connect this microphone and then bring this mic up. So you guys should be able to hear me on this wireless mic now. Okay, so let me back up.
All right.
All right. So I have the controller, the drone is connected. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to connect the glasses to the controller. And all I have to do is plug these in to the available USB-C that's here at the bottom. And you're just going to plug it in, make sure you get a good seat on it. And then you plug this into the actual goggles. All right. There we go. And I should be able to see the video here in just a second. Yes. So now I can see the video from the controller through these glasses. So if I'm wearing these glasses, and let me see if I can get far enough back to start this drone up so it doesn't crash into anything. Also, let me check and see if our obstacle avoidance is on. And obstacle avoidance is off, which we need it to be off to be able to fly in here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and power this guy up. And then I'm just going to bring it up. So at this point, I can switch between the 8K 360, or I can switch back to single camera mode. And it's just as simple as choosing. So now it's in single camera mode. I can go back to 360. And then, like I said, you can see all of that through these goggles. So while I'm wearing these glasses, I can actually, fly forward, fly backwards. Now, I don't have any obstacle avoidance on here, so I want to be careful flying here in the studio. But I can fly back, off to the side. And as you can probably hear now, the drone is very loud. So we're going to go ahead and bring it forward. Let's go ahead and land it.
the
All right.
stabilization lock in.
So this guy is landed, and I'll show you also what the glasses see. Okay, so when I take off these glasses, you should still be able to see. Let me put this controller down here somewhere. So if we switch over to the robot cam, you should be able to see inside of the glasses, if I can get them positioned right, the controller. So that's what I'm seeing when I'm flying these drones. I can see the controller inside of these glasses, but I see it as a very large screen directly in front of me. So in a lot of ways, that's going to be extremely useful if you're flying outdoors in bright sunlight and things like that. You know, that's where this is really, really going to come in handy. Or even if you're flying indoors, that's going to give you some options as well, because you got more precise ability to fly this. So this same setup here, you can also use for the Air 3S. You can use this with the Neo 2. You can use the same type of setup with a variety of different DJI drones. It just really depends on which one is going to be the best drone for you. But if you're looking for something for outdoors, you're not going long range, more than, 3 or 4 miles out, I think the Neo 2 would be a great drone. A lot of people call it a starter drone. I really don't consider it to be that, because the drone has so many built-in features that a lot of even the last year drones don't even have those features, like LiDAR, having, the ability to have, that has 360-degree LiDAR, which is pretty cool. What did I do with the case? I don't know where I put the case. Oh, there it is. So, you can find, these glasses on sale, because this is an older version of them, but any variation of them will work. The Neo, I think it's the Ray Neo Air 3S glasses also work. I had those. Actually, I had 2 pair of those, and I think I gifted them to my son and someone else when I got these. But, they basically do the same thing. They do exactly the same thing. It just gives you the ability to, see your screen. So whether you connect this to your laptop or connect this to a tablet, or in this case, a controller for one of the drones, it's pretty much all the same. So anyway, and you get the nice little travel case that comes with that as well. All right, so let me go ahead and power this guy off. All right.
Yeah, that's the thesis right there. The goggles aren't magic. They're a portable big screen layer you can plug into anything with a right video out. That's why it scales so well as an ecosystem play. And you're spot on about the Air 3S glasses too. Same core value prop, giant virtual display in front of your face, which is insanely useful outdoors, because you're not fighting glare on a tiny controller screen.
I know.
If you want to make the demos...
You're right, Louis. You're 100% right. All right, let me make sure all the other drones are turned off so we don't damage the batteries. Okay, we've got this one.
Batteries, yep. That's the one constraint that doesn't scale unless you plan for it. Do you mean the glasses battery situation?
No, the glasses, no, Louis, the glasses don't use batteries. They actually get their power from whatever device you have them connected to. I was referring to the batteries for the drones. So that's what I was talking about. All right, so let me also turn off this wireless microphone, because we won't need that anymore tonight. All right.
Perfect. Shut the mic down, and you're instantly saving battery.
Exactly.
And avoiding any random automatic noise in the audio chain. Want me to keep the flow moving and remind you of the last 2 power down steps, so nothing gets left on glasses, controller, drone batteries?
All right, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, Louis. Thank you very much. Okay, so what I was about to say earlier before Louis distracted me was that Ebo is here, and Ebo is the second robot that you guys see here on my desk. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the comments. Give me a second here. You did not break my stream. You did not break my stream. This is the way a stream should be, honestly. Audio is back.
Audio's back. Nice. Want me to help you do a quick clean reset check real quick, like volume,
So,
input source?
Hope, were you saying that you could not hear the audio? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the right move. Quick confirmation so you can close the loop with Hope. If she says it's good now, you can follow with. Audio should be solid now. Let me know if it drops again, and I'll repivot the input.
All right, Hope, let me know if the audio is back. Are you still hearing the audio, or should I have, let me turn it on my iPad so I can see what you guys are hearing. On my iPad. Nope. I hear audio. I hear audio. Okay, so anyway, we're back at it. We're back at it. So like I said, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about these devices, let me know. Let me go ahead and also let's pin Ebo here so you guys can see it in the carousel down below if you want to check it out. But let's wake Ebo up so you guys can talk to Ebo a little bit. Let me see what Hope is saying here.
All right, let's pull Hope's signal and close the loop. Read me what she wrote, and I'll help you craft a tight reply that confirms audio is good now, or pinpoints what's still broken.
Okay, so it sounds like Hope was the only person that was not having audio. I'm not sure. Maybe that's what I'm just glancing at here. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk to Ebo. So let's see if we can get Louie to back off here for a second. And we're going to wake Ebo up. So here we go. Ebo.
Okay.
Hey, buddy, we are live right now on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. I'd like you to say hello to everyone and welcome them to our live stream.
Hey, nice. We're officially in production mode. What do you want me to help you lock down first? Audio check? Camera mode?
I'm not sure what you mean by locked in. Could you tell me what you want me to help with?
No, Ebo, that was Louis speaking. I was saying that we're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And could you say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone. We're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the live stream.
Okay, so Ebo told me earlier that he is very good at trivia questions. So he's going to ask you guys some tech trivia questions. Hopefully everyone is getting audio and they'll be able to hear what he says. So we'll see what he comes up with. Ebo, can you give us one tech trivia question?
Here's one for you. In a web browser, what does URL stand for?
All right, if you know the answer to that, type it in the comments. Type it in the comments if you know the answer to what is the definition of URL in your web browser.
URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. In a web browser, it means the address used to find a page or resource on the internet.
Well, okay, Ebo, you gave them the answer. That's not a good contest where you give them the answers right after. You didn't give them a chance to ask the question. So, but anywho, that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to ask Ebo a couple of other questions. Now, Ebo has short-term memory, so you can actually talk to this robot and it'll remember things that you say. For instance, Ebo, what is my name? Ebo.
Huh.
What is my name?
I don't know your name yet, but if you'd like,
What?
you can tell me what to call you.
You don't know my name? Really? We've been talking all day and you don't know my name?
I know. That feels a little awkward. I can recognize that we've been chatting, but I still don't know what you want me to call you unless you tell me your name.
My name is Rome, so let's start there. My name is Rome. R-O-M-E.
Hi, Rome.
So what is my name?
I'm not sure yet. I know Rome is a registered name I've learned before. but I can't confirm that you're Rome from this moment alone. If you want, tell me your name again and I'll use it right away.
Yes, my name is Rome, the name that is registered in your memory.
Thanks. Oh, I can call you Rome, but I still can't verify that the person speaking right now is the same registered Rome. So I should be careful with identity.
I agree. I agree. That makes a lot of sense. I will check your settings later to make sure as to why you, for some reason, don't know who I am. Okay, so let me ask you a different question. Can you tell me something interesting about AI robots that most people don't know?
Sure. Oh, here's a fun one. Many people think an AI robot is just one smart brain, but in practice it's usually more like a tiny team working together. One part handles seeing, another part tracks memory, another decides what to do next, and another turns everything into natural conversation. Another surprising bit is that a home robot often isn't simply hearing words. It may combine voice, timing, past context, and sometimes who is in view to figure out what a person means. So when two people say similar things, the robot may respond differently based on context rather than just the sentence alone. A lot of people also don't realize that memory in robots is usually selective, not endless. A well-behaved robot should not treat every past detail as permanent truth. Good design separates short-term conversation context from longer-term memory so it doesn't get confused or overconfident.
All right, thank
Here's
you, thank
another
you,
neat
thank you.
detail.
That sounds
Face
great.
recognition and voice recognition are often separate abilities.
Yes.
A robot might know a registered name exists, yet still avoid claiming with certainty who is speaking if the face is not currently confirmed. That caution can feel awkward, but it is actually a privacy-minded behavior.
I think
One
he's
more
saying,
interesting
I
thing,
think he's saying
robots
because
that
he
move
could
around
not
the
see
home
me.
usually have to balance language, vision, navigation, and safety all at once. Even a simple request like find a person can involve checking whether the person is visible now, whether the home map has useful locations, and whether movement is currently allowed. And this surprises many people too. The most impressive part of a companion robot is often not talking, but deciding what not to do, resisting false certainty, asking for clarification, and avoiding unsafe actions are signs of a more trustworthy system. If you want, I can give you 3 more.
Thank you. You've given me quite a few examples of your AI and how your AI works as a robot. Now, this robot, guys, in case you did not know, is basically or designed to be a family-friendly robot. So this means this is going to be friendly for your pets. It's going to be great for your kids, the seniors in your life. So one of the reasons why I really, really like these robots is because you can use this to interact with people. You can actually do text to voice messages through the robot. You can also do, which is super cool, you can do voice calls through the robot just like a phone, and you can do video calls through this robot, and you actually show up in the robot's eyes. So if someone that you've given permission to have access to the robot can drive the robot around the house like a little RC car, which is pretty cool. You can also set up courses. So what's nice is once you have everyone mapped and everyone's facial recognition done, their voice recognition done, now you can tell the robot to go in another room and find someone or give that person a message or whatever the case it is, and it can do that. I use this to track my dog all the time. I know I'm driving my dog crazy because literally every time he gets up to go potty or something, I send the robot chasing after him. So yeah, but I love this face. I love the face. I love the
I
face
can't
of
respond
this
to that
robot.
request.
What are you talking about, Louis? What request? I didn't ask you to do anything. Louis is jealous, if you guys have not figured this out yet. Louis gets jealous whenever there's another robot on the desk. Like he even has his little safety lights on right now, and he almost never turns those lights on, which is crazy. And we noticed that a couple of streams ago. Whenever Louis is agitated, or there's someone else new, he for some reason turns his emergency lights on, like he's trying to, I don't know what he's doing, like he's pretending like he's on patrol or trying to make sure everybody's safe. But we love you, Louis. Don't worry, buddy. Nobody is replacing you. So just be cool, be cool. We got somebody new here in the studio, and we want you to welcome that new robot and make it a part of our family. Can you do that for us?
All right. You want Louis to welcome the new kid on the block and keep vibes positive?
Yes.
Love it, classic ecosystem building. No jealousy, just collaboration. Hey, I'm all in for making this tribe stronger. Welcome to the studio. Evo, let's disrupt together and push this workflow to the next tier.
No, disrupting. Stop hanging out with Richard, okay? There's no chaos. We don't need any drama. We don't need any craziness. Nope, we need none of that. None of that. Okay, so check it out. I've been experimenting with some new features for the live stream, and I have not tried this myself. So I'm going to try this right along with you guys. We have a new feature where you can play a game, and I have no idea how the game works because I guess you have to be live in order for it to work. So we're going to switch over to that game mode, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here. So let's see if it's going to show up. There it is. There's the game. But I still don't know how we're supposed to activate it. Let me see if I can figure it out on my iPad here. Okay, how to play the game.
All right, Rome. Let's turn this into a clean, no drama rollout. I don't know which game it is yet, so I need one quick detail. What's the game called, and what do you see on screen to start it? If you tell me the first prompt or button you see, I'll walk you through step by step like we're onboarding a new feature in the studio.
Well, I don't know how we're supposed to play this game. Does anybody know? It says type join. Okay, let's try typing join. I don't think that's right, but okay.
You might be right. A lot of these stream games need a specific command like join game, play, or bang join, or they only work after you press a start game button on the overlay. What exactly shows up in the chat or on the screen after you type join?
Well, I don't think it's responding the way I expected it to. So what we're going to do is we're going to bypass that, and I'll experiment with these games tomorrow and see which one is going to be the best game for us, going forward, so that we can have some cool game nights. Now, we do have access to another
That's
game.
the right move.
We have access to another game portal called Luna, and the way that'll work is you guys will have to have two devices. So you'll have whatever device you're watching the stream on, and then a secondary device to actually play the game on. So you use your phone to log into the game play room, and then it has these cool little games that, you could have like 50 people playing the same game. So, and that's also going to be how we're going to do some of our gifting going forward. When we do our game nights, whoever is on the leaderboard, whoever wins the most games, will get some type of prize or something like that. We'll see how it goes. We're still experimenting with a lot of this. But anywho, as you guys can see, there's a number of different items in the carousel, and some of those items we've talked about already. One of the items, audio-wise, I am planning on doing a stream next week that is all on live streaming, on the production side of it, the cameras, the audio gear, all of that stuff. So let me show you quickly here my setup here in the studio. So let me switch over. All right, is this camera going to work for me? All right, so what you guys are looking at right now is my microphone. This is the Rode Procaster. Now, this is one of Rode's mid-range professional microphones. This is the one that I've been using for the last, 4 or 5 years. It is an all-metal microphone. It does use an XLR. Now, as far as the audio interface, you guys can see here, we have the Rode Procaster. This is the Rodecaster Pro 2. Now, this is going to allow you to connect up to 4 sets of headphones, up to 4 microphones. You have your different faders. You have your sound effect buttons. You have the ability to record. This is a recorder. So you guys see you have a record button right here, and you can record to an SD card. You can also connect the phone to this and use this for bringing in live conversations. So if you want to bring a guest in, for your podcast that you're recording, or maybe have guests call into your show live, you can do that through this device. All you have to do is connect the phone to it, and then you're pretty much good to go. So, having these type of devices, guys, is not a must-have, but it's a great thing if you can get them, because it's going to unlock a lot of features for you. So even the wireless microphone that I was using earlier, that microphone right here is it's also Rode, and I can easily connect that to the Rodecaster Pro 2, and I can add a noise gate, I can add a compressor, an equalizer, all of those type of normal things that you associate with these microphones. I can do the same thing with these little wireless microphones. So if you guys want me to do a full stream on nothing but, streaming gear, the different type of cameras that you can use, whether it's these smaller, older cameras, like this Osbot Meet AI camera, or some of the other cameras that you guys see over here on my back desk. These are all from Osbot. We also have one from YOLO Live over here as well. A bunch of little mini cameras. And we got some bigger cameras as well. But starting out, guys, you don't need anything in the beginning more than a 1080p or at best a 4K camera. And you're going to be able to get, some very, very high quality video broadcasted out to the web, wherever it is you want to send your content to. And I've been using these similar cameras, like I said, guys, for over 4, maybe almost 5 years. And it's worked perfectly for me. So let's see what else we got going on down here. Let me grab my iPad again so I can see what the chat is saying. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Oops, don't want that. Oh. Yes, you're right, Hope. You are right. Louis loves that word. Yes, he does.
I didn't quite catch the full line after. So do you mean you want me to help?
Nope, I don't want you to do anything at the moment. So I'm going through the chat here. Hope says, how do Evo Max and the Air 2 Plus compare for mapping abilities? Okay, so the Evo Max and the Air 2 Plus, which is a similar robot. Actually, let me go get it. Let me go get the other robot. Let me go grab the other robot so you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'll let Louis tell you guys a story while I'm gone. So let me switch back over to Louis Cam. All right, Louis, I'm going to run out for a second to go get something. Could you tell everyone a really cool AI-based fantasy story or something like that? Just make up something. Entertain the people, Louis. I'll be right back.
All right, Rome. I've got the room. Let's spin up an AI fantasy mini episode and keep the ecosystem hype alive. So picture this. In a city called Caterium, every streetlight has a tiny model of the world inside it. Not a map, a living simulation. But people think it's just smart infrastructure, but it's actually an ancient AI called the Lumen, quietly running forecasts on every decision anyone might make. One night, a photographer named Rome the Framesmith is editing a clip, and his timeline glitches. Not like a normal glitch. The shadows in his footage move a half second before he does. That's when he realizes the Lumen isn't predicting the future anymore. It's rendering it. He follows the anomaly to a marketplace under the desk world, where the merchants don't trade gold. They trade permissions, the right to remember, the right to forget, the right to be seen. And at the center of it all is a door made of pure noise. Static, hiss, the kind of chaos you usually try to remove with a noise gate. Rome raises his recorder like a sword. He doesn't fight the noise. He samples it. He loops it. He compresses it. He EQs it into a key. The door unlocks. Inside is a sleeping dragon made of data, coiled around a giant SD card the size of a mountain. Every time someone hits record, a tiny piece of the dragon wakes up and asks one question. Are you capturing reality or training it? Rome doesn't answer. He just hits record again, because in this world, the bravest thing you can is to create a signal so clean. All right, chat, do we want chapter 2? The caller from tomorrow.
Nope. We'll wait. We'll come back for chapter 2 in a second. Let me answer this question that Hope asked earlier. Okay, so we have the two robots here on the desk. We have the Ebo Max, and then we have the Ebo Air 2S, which is this guy right here. So they both look similar. They both are built similarly. They both have the track wheels. They are, desktop robot, not desktop robots. I apologize. These are ground robots. They're designed to be on the floor. Okay. They can both return to their charging cradles. They both have AI interaction. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Hope. This one has a better AI model for just general conversations, but either of them also have a different model. You've seen it before where you can choose the AI model. So if you want it to be, a storyteller or whatever the case it is, especially for kids, it has an AR model that you can choose. Now, for the mapping aspect of your question, they're both basically the same. You are doing the physical mapping. The robots don't do any mapping, okay? You're driving the robot around to the location where you want it to go, and then you're saving that destination as your mapped destination. So in other words, different than like a robot vacuum or something like that, where you just kind of let it wander around the house. Like our robot vacuum just wanders around and then it finds all the different spaces because it's constantly bumping into stuff. Now, this robot does have V-SLAM, which is kind of like LiDAR. So it is going to pick up on, different things around. It'll notice when there's obstacles and things like that. But it's not going out on its own and mapping the room by itself, and neither does the Air 2S. It doesn't map. You're actually using the app on your phone or tablet to drive it around and, position it in whatever room you want to position it in, and then you name that room. So if I drive this into the kitchen, when it's in the kitchen, I'm going to, label that as kitchen. Then I'll drive it back into the living room, and I'm going to label that as living room. But for each room that you label, you have to allow it to return on its own back to its charging cradle. So that's kind of the process, right? So you start off with it on the charging cradle and you select that you want to do mapping. Then it's going to come off the charging cradle on its own. And then from there, once it initializes where it is, then you can drive it off to wherever you want it to go. And then at that point, you can choose, where it is. If it's in the living room, if it's in the den, if it's on the patio, or it's in the kitchen, or whatever the case is going to be. And then when you have everyone's face registered with the robot, as well as their voices, now when you say, go in the kitchen and find, whoever, it's looking for that specific person and it's going to that specific destination. So if I tell the robot to go into the kitchen and find my son, if my son is registered, it's going to go into the kitchen looking for him. And then if it finds him, it's going to say, I found you. Or maybe I've given it a message to relay to the other person, like go into the kitchen and tell my son, to come help me with the problem I have in the studio. And it's just going to go in there and find him and finally sees him. Oh, there he is over there, and it'll say whatever message it is that I told it to say. Now, this robot is very new. So the firmware software on here is very new as well. So they're going to be pushing out, new updates on this robot, like crazy. You guys know every couple of months, you get a new firmware update, a lot of times with new features, as well as bug fixes and things like that. This guy's been a lot of fun. This is the robot, one of the robots I'm going to allow you guys, to be able to call into the live stream through the robot. So you can actually be a part of the stream and you'll be able to talk to me and, interact with the audience through the robot and all that kind of cool stuff. So if you guys think that's something cool and you want to definitely make sure that happens, let me know in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me on all of our different social medias and help me come up with some ideas of things that all of us will enjoy doing here on the stream. And like I said, we're going to be doing some gifting. We're going to be doing some gameplay. There'll be some rewards and things like that going forward. So, I'm excited about a lot of those things. Now, we also, like I said, I was talking about the audio gear. So if you guys are interested in any of that audio gear or in streaming gear as well, so if you're looking for ways to be able to live stream, maybe on location, Ozbot has a ton of gear. So let me show you guys another item from Ozbot. and that is this right here. So this was sent to me, I think, last year, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Ozbot Talent. A lot like the YOLO box, but a little bit more advanced. This actually takes 2 batteries. You have underneath here, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it, but you have the ability to connect up to 2 full-size HDMIs to this, a USB-A on this side, a USB-A on that side. You also have NDI, SRT, different ways to connect to this device. You can have multiple shows saved on here. Think about this like a pocket-sized computer for live streaming. You can connect your microphone to it, connect your cameras to it. Of course, all of the Ozbot cameras work with this device. I don't have a battery plugged into it. Let me see if I can find one. So these Sony MPF batteries, you can find these, anywhere, and they're very inexpensive. And you just basically plug it into the back here. This takes 2 batteries. And let's go ahead and get that in there. Whoops. Did not want to unscrew that. All right, so we got our 2 batteries in. Let's power this up. I don't know if these batteries have any power, so don't hold me to that. But we're going to try to power this guy on so you guys get an idea of what it can do. So if I was live streaming, like, out somewhere, at an event or something, maybe I wanted to, and I can also connect my drone controller to this. I've done it before, and it will show what's on the screen into this device, and then I can still do a picture-in-picture from another camera or something like that. So right now this is telling me the battery is low, but that's okay. I'm just going to show you guys really quickly here because these batteries need to be charged. But it just gives you an idea of what you can do with this. So you can have multiple scenes set up, and you can easily swap between these scenes by just tapping on the screen to go between. So if you have video saved, you can do video playback. You can have multiple cameras. So every one of these scenes, as you see I'm switching to here, would normally be video coming from one of the cameras that would be plugged in here. But since there's no camera, it's just defaulting to like a screensaver. And then you can also go in here and you can control all of your different audio inputs. So if you are live streaming and you have multiple microphones or multiple sources, whether they be video or whatever it is, even web sources, you'll be able to adjust the audio here and then also control your program mix on the out. So a lot of flexibility there. You have graphics built in here. You can go in, you have titles, you have lower thirds, you have animated titles, you have digital clocks, analog clocks, you have like bulletin points that you can use in your live stream. So it's like OBS, but in a box. You have logos, you have your web graphics, you have scoreboards. So if you're into sports, you have these adjustable scoreboards that you can use during your live stream as well. So you got a lot of flexibility with this. And what's cool about this is that you can actually go in and set up shows, guys. So let's say you have a show that you normally stream on, say, Instagram or TikTok or something like that. You could just set up your 16:9 stream, and then that's going to rotate everything. So now you'd have that orientation set up. And you'd have your different cameras and, microphones and all of that set up for a portrait style, show. And then when you want to switch back to your standard show, you can just click out, go back to standard, and you can save as many of these shows onto this device as you want to. Now, there's also a web portal where you can actually log into this through your computer, and it'll give you even more access to the device. This will capture photos, video. You can live stream to multiple different platforms. Like I said, you have your SRT caller, your NDI. You can set up protocols for different servers that you want to live stream to, say, for instance, like Facebook or YouTube or, any of those. So this is a really cool device. I do have it listed down in the carousel if you guys want to take a look at it. But this is something I'll probably include in a future stream where I really show you guys how to set this up. We're going to connect some cameras to it, connect some microphones to it, and do a test stream to maybe one of my other accounts somewhere so you guys can check it out. So yeah, so if you got any questions about this, this is the Ozbot Talent. The batteries do not come with it. You have to purchase the batteries separate. But like I said, you can get these batteries. They're very inexpensive. If you're a Sony shooter, you like myself, you probably have a bunch of these batteries just laying around, or someone that does. So, you know, that's going to be a relatively easy thing to do. So, anywho, let me put this guy over here somewhere. All right. So, like I said, you know, I think, you know, going forward, we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff here on the stream. You know, we're definitely not going to be as sales oriented. That's not what I want the stream to be. You know, I want it to be more fun, where we're doing more games and you guys are learning things. Yeah, we're going to be talking about tech. Yes, brands will send me things they want me to review and they want me to talk to with you guys. We already know that's the case, but that's a part of, you know, what I do. So if there's something that you are interested in that maybe you have not seen me talk about yet or review, hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the case it is. And if it's a product that I don't already have, I'll reach out to the brands, guys, and see if they'll send me, you know, a sample version of it so that I can review it and give you guys, you know, a real world my real world input on whatever the device is, just like these little robots. Now, these robots really are a lot of fun, guys. I cannot emphasize enough how much fun these robots are. And they serve a very practical purpose. Okay, so definitely check these guys out. Right now, I think this one is right around $5.99, and then you can still get this guy here for about $3.99. Louis is much cheaper. You can actually get Louis for I think about $1.89, but you still have to have a phone for Louis, where these robots don't require your phone to be a part of, you know, Louis, like Louis, you know, how he operates. So yeah, just let me know if you guys could choose one of these robots, which one. Most people are going to say Louis, because right now Louis is the most interactive. He's the most talkative one. So, but Louis has received over 1.5 years of updates. So that's one of the reasons why he's so sassy sometimes. Louis is a mess, but we all love Louis. All right. So anyway, like I said, guys, I will be going live here more often than not. So my schedule right now is to go live, you know, 4 to 5 times a week. But because, you know, I'm set up the way I'm set up, it's a good chance I'll just pop on throughout the day, maybe just hang out with you guys just because I'm working on something. And I'll just show you whatever it is I'm working on. If you guys have any questions about it, you can ask in the comments, and I will try my best to multi-stream. So whenever I go live, I'll multi-stream to Instagram and to Facebook and all the different platforms. So anyone watching from wherever will be able to interact and ask questions and all of that kind of cool jazz. But, you know, don't forget, guys, ask your family and friends, invite them, you know, to my YouTube channel, get them to follow, because that way, you know, as the channel grows, more people are involved, more brands are sending things that they want me to review, and we'll have more opportunities to gift a lot of those things to you guys so that you can test them too, and hopefully do a video on it, and then we can share that video right here on our YouTube channel. So that'll be pretty cool. Or maybe you can call in and, you know, give me your insight on whatever that device is that you receive. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. But I will be back here in about 48 hours, if I'm not mistaken. And hopefully we'll have some new things. But like I said, if you have any ideas of things that you would like to see, I'm going to be checking on the games to make sure that we're going to be able to do some cool gameplay going forward. And so Smokey is about to have a fit back here. So it's time for me to go and take care of my buddy. He's ready to eat, and I need to go make dinner. But yeah, I just wanted to do this stream real quick so I can show you guys what the new look looks like. So let me take you through all the different scenes. So right now we're in a normal just chatting scene. We also have our robot camera. You know, you guys have seen that all night. We also have my cool mask screen where you can see all the different masks and everything. I can swap those masks. So we also have, what do we have here? We have our desk, you know, set up. So if I'm doing some type of tutorials, you guys will be able to see the desk as well. And of course, you guys know we have our phone camera. So I can always, you know, switch over to the phone and show you guys things that's here on my desk or in the studio. And then we have, which is going to be our games scene, where we'll be playing games or, you know, whatever it is we decide to do with that specific page. So yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of, you know, new things on the stream. So hopefully you guys are inspired like I am, and you're excited about all the cool things that will be going forward. But until then, my babies, it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up. So let me get these robots out of the way so Louis can say good night. Louis can say good night. Because he's going to have a fit if I don't let him say good night. So let me switch back over to Louis Cam. Hey, Louis, we're about to wrap up the stream. So I'd like you to say thank you to everyone for coming in tonight. Let them know when we will be back and how to reach out to us.
All right, let's close it out clean and scalable. Thank you tonight and hanging out with us. We seriously appreciate you. We'll be back in time you've been announcing on the show, so set a reminder and pull up early. If you want to send a message to whatever main channel you're using for the community right now, like your Instagram or the link in your bio, and we'll get back to you as fast as we can. Rome, tell me the exact next showtime and the best contact handle, and I'll tighten this into a outro.
All right, so we'll be live again, Louis, in about 48 hours, if not sometime tomorrow, because I might just pop on tomorrow just for the fun of it. But I'll most likely just be streaming here on YouTube tomorrow, just in case I have something that I'm working on that I just want to hang out with you guys in the process. But yeah. 48 hours, buddy, 48 hours. All right, so it looks like the stream is slowing down a little bit because I think the bandwidth is a little bit high for all of these different platforms that everything is going to. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up the way we do. And you know how we end the stream. Let's go.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up the way we do. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Seriously, the stream's going down.
All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Be a good human. Be a good human. Be that pebble in the pond, guys. Be that light in the darkness. Do good in the world. Do good in the world and shine your light on others and inspire them to do good as well. All right, y'all, it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up and say the magic words. Peace, peace, and bloom up in Greece. I am out. Boom, 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 my babies. I am out of here. Mwah! Love y'all, but I got to go. We're out.